From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your morning update.
American Door Company has been family owned and operated for over 29 years, supplying Northern California with quality garage doors, garage door openers, and installed with the best service you'd expect from a locally owned company. We serve all of Northern California from Willows all the way up to the Oregon state line. Give us a call today.
Well, happy Tuesday morning to you. Hope you're having a good start to your day. It is bright and early in the morning. I should say dark and early in the morning. The sun hasn't even come up yet. And you know, if you look at the trees here in the Redding area, the winds are still blowing just a tad, but mainly around 10, maybe 15 miles per hour. The winds aren't going to be much of a factor out there for today. A lot of rain out towards the north coast. And then, of course, as it started shifting eastward as expected, you started seeing less and less rain. We're going to take a look at those rainfall totals here in just a bit, but let's kind of get you through the day today. There still are going to be a few isolated morning showers, especially to the east in the eastern mountains, and very light, by the way. I mean, we're talking scattered sprinkles is what we're looking at here. And then for the north coast, Del Norte, Humboldt County, even parts of western Siskiyou County, and maybe even Trinity County, seeing just some very, very light activity here through the morning hours, but should be for the most part dry. Now, tomorrow, there's another weak disturbance that will impact the north coast, giving you a chance for some more showers. Everyone else should be dry. And then really for the most part, it's going to be drier for the rest of the week and into the weekend. There are a few disturbances that are kind of coming through toward the end of the week and in this upcoming weekend, but there's a lot of inconsistency and nothing really kind of set in stone just yet. So there you can kind of see how it just kind of fizzles out as it moves over the valley, but it's still producing some showers. And then, of course, early this morning, you can, of course, see as of about 3:30 this morning, we're seeing it kind of really just die out. Now, again, there's still some activity here off to the north and west. This will continue to bring in a little bit more in the way of some measurable rainfall, but again, the bulk of it has moved out. The atmospheric river is no longer a part of us, okay? It's moved down to the south, and that's even died out as well. All right, so here are the storm totals since yesterday morning, since really the storm started. Again, as expected, this right here is the big swath of moisture. Most of it was to the north and west. Crescent City, 2.36. Klamath, 2.21. As you head southward, you just start seeing less. As you head eastward, you see less as well, but not bad in Cheyenne Valley at about 1.23. Hoopa, 1.37. Willow Creek, about 0.57. Wairika, 0.21. But look at Mount Shasta, 0.18. And then in the valley, didn't even see a tenth of an inch of rainfall, just a few hundredths. And then off to the east, you can see here just a few hundredths as well. And as of about 3:30 this morning, we're at 0 for Susanville and Quincy. And quite honestly, you saw the radar. It wasn't looking very impressive or very promising that Susanville or Quincy would even see any measurable rainfall. So again, that was the basic setup that I was talking about. Heaviest along the coast, and then it just kind of fizzles out as you start heading eastward. But what's interesting is, yesterday on the coast, some record-breaking rainfall. All right, so Eureka yesterday saw 1.56 inches of rain. That broke the record of 1.01 set in 1923. Now, what's interesting about Crescent City, look at the record, 1.11. If you double that, that's 2.22. So Crescent City actually more than doubled the record set in 1930. So very impressive amounts of rainfall for many parts along the north coast. And looks like, again, most of that rain has pretty much passed at this point. It's all thanks to this swirling area of low pressure, kind of setting us up with this atmospheric river that did move on through. Now that atmospheric river is moved on out. We've got some clouds and a few light showers for parts of Northern California this morning. So here's Futurecast. By 8 o'clock this morning, you can see it's just few and far between, if anything, really. Just kind of still the clouds overhead. It's going to look a little ominous. It's very saturated out there, so there could be some sprinkles out there in some areas, including the valley this morning. But as we go through the afternoon, those clouds will start to dissipate, especially off to the east. So we'll call it partly cloudy for today. Now, we have another disturbance passing through. This is tomorrow morning at about 3 a.m. You're kind of seeing some pockets of some moderate rainfall in there, so not out of the question to see some decent measurable rainfall in some areas here. But then as we go into Wednesday around noon, most of that rain is gone. But still, as you can see, some clouds kind of spreading overhead, and then it looks like it kind of dries out and clears out again as we go into Wednesday afternoon, and not to mention Wednesday night. Now, if we look at Futurecast through this week, there's Friday, take into the weekend, a few disturbances passing through as well. I'm not going to stop at any particular point because right now, timing, intensity, that's all changing. And it's really not even set in stone because yesterday it wasn't even showing anything through the weekend. And now it's showing a few things here and there. So as of right now, again, I got that chance for showers Wednesday morning for the North Coast. Otherwise, things are going to be dry for the rest of the week most likely and into the weekend. But again, we'll keep a close eye on any potential for rain as we do approach the weekend. Here are your wave heights. Still pretty high here this morning, and not to mention this afternoon. But especially as we go into Wednesday, we're starting to see those wave heights begin to drop. It's still fairly high. I mean, you're still up at about 10 feet, but at least we're not at the 15, 16, and 17 we saw just 24, 48 hours ago. And of course, conditions getting better out along the immediate coast as well. So we take a look at the high surf advisory from 2 o'clock this morning. So it's already started until 11 a.m. this morning. Large breaking waves of 19 to 21 feet, dangerous surfing and local beach erosion. This is for the entire coast of the North Coast of Del Norte and Humboldt County. So just please be aware of that as we've got dangerous situations out along the coast. Here's your marine forecast for today. South winds at 10 to 15 knots, waves from the west at 15 feet at 14 seconds. Still have that small craft advisory here for today. It's really going to last all the way through Wednesday, as a matter of fact. So here's what it looks like today. Now, we do have a few showers coming in this morning off to the north and west. We're still seeing that, right? But then we do expect dry conditions from the valley. We expect dry conditions off to the north and east. But look at the temperatures. I mean, still very mild. Mid to upper 70s in the valley, 60s for the higher elevations, low to mid 60s out along the coast. So let's take a look at your 7-day outlook. And what you're going to see here is Mount Shasta, still a slight chance for some morning showers. Should be dry on Wednesday through the rest of the week and through the weekend. Dry for Alturas and Susanville with mild temperatures, cool temperatures really. And take a look at your 7-day outlook for the valley. It's dry for the next 7 days. It warms up a little bit Wednesday, Thursday, but that's still below normal. And then there you can, of course, see those temperatures back down in the 70s by Friday and through the weekend for Redding, Red Bluff, and Chico. All right, so let's take a look at your 7-day outlook for the coast. Here's today, morning showers. Morning showers again Wednesday, drying out by Thursday. Now we take a look at the inland areas. It may come in inland as well for both this morning and tomorrow morning. But for Weaverville, for the most part, I think you're going to be dry for today and not to mention tomorrow. Now there may be a passing sprinkle here and there even tomorrow for Weaverville, but otherwise it dries out entirely by Thursday. It stays dry at this point through the weekend and even quite possibly into early next week.